Hello and welcome to another edition of An English Guy Watching Wrestling. I'm the English Guy, I'm Nick. Thank you so much for clicking on another video. And this one, we're going to be covering the 12th of April 2021 edition of AEW Dark Elevation. And with that being said, let's jump right into the review. Opening match was between Zack, Clayton and Dark Order's number 10. Now, I give credit which due to Dark Order number 10. He's come back recently from a pretty bad facial injury. And basically, if you saw him not too long ago, he had his mouth really hurt. I think his tooth went through his bottom lip. So that's how bad that injury was. But the blood was literally like a running tap. It was crazy. But the fact is, he's back doing his thing after thankfully getting stitches. And he's back to good, being good at what he does. And that is being, honestly, arguably the strongest member in the Dark Order. And I'm not saying anything against John Silver. Because John Silver is built like a tank. But so is number 10. But that's kind of cool to see. And number 10, as of late, is starting to get some more momentum in AEW. And I'm glad to see it. And to see him using a full Nelson as a finisher now is kind of unique. I've always been here and there, and as a finisher, I'll be the first to admit that. But, yeah, for the way he does things and the way he builds up to it, it works. It's smart working by number 10. And this was no different. Even though it was a short match, it told a good story of him continuing to be dominant. And I enjoy that because I do like the Dark Order. I think they're very good. And I do like 10. I think he's very good as well. But this was actually a decent opener to what was overall a very good episode of AEW Dark Elevation, but more on that later. But this was a fun, short opener. 10 winning was the right call, so thumbs up. And next match was Hayden Backlund, which is the son of Bob Backlund, versus Miro. And a very short match. Basically, Miro, as you know, is the powerhouse right now. He's bulldozing through everybody in AEW the way his character is, and I love it because I really like Miro. And he did win, and he got the game over, which is the, of course, the camel clutch. Got the win in a squash match, so there you go. Kind of cool to see Hayden Backlund, the son of Bob Backlund, in wrestling. I didn't know he was wrestling, so there you go. Our next match was Tay Conte in a Kuroshida versus Katalina, Perez and Layla Gray. Now, I've said it before and I was saying it, I've enjoyed what Tay Conte has been doing in this year in AEW. I think she's been the best all-round, I'll try to say again. She's been the most improved performer and wrestler. She mixes her judo in with her professional wrestling and it just works very well. And of course, Hikaru Shida is one of my favourite women wrestlers right now anywhere. Because of just how good she is, how fluid she is in the ring, she's great. And these two as a tag team work. Even though Tay Conte is the #1 contender for Hikaru Shida's championship. And these two will meet for the title on next week's Dynamite, which I am very much looking forward to. I think that's going to be a really good match between two superb athletes and superb wrestlers. But them tagging together has been kind of telling a good story about how two women who are going to be facing each other eventually for the belt are getting along because they're both faces. But having said that, so were Katalina, Perez and Layla Gray. I mean, they were not really heels. But this was a good flowing tag match between all four ladies. And Tay Conte and Hikaru Shida did win, but it was also just a really good back and forth match. Some really cool offense from the other two, but the way that Conte and Hikaru Shida mixed their styles together was very good. And I enjoyed it. So a fun tag match for all four women. So definitely thumbs up for that. Our next match was, it's a bit of a tongue twister, so I'll try and say it right. Tag match, Cardiovascular and Dean Alexander versus the Hybrid 2. I know I was going to get it right. I should have said TX2, it would have made it a lot easier. Jack Evans and Angelico. Now, Jack Evans and Angelico are perhaps the most unique tag team in AEW because of their styles. Obviously, you've got Jack Evans, fantastic high flyer, and probably the best high flyer AEW has, and that's saying something because they've got some really good high flyers. And against Angelico, perhaps the best submission wrestler in AEW. They just work as a tag team, the Hybrid 2. Obviously, the name says it also. These two were really good. And against a decent team of Cardiovascular and Dean Alexander. And basically, the Navarro Death Roll did win the match for Angelico and Jack Evans, but in a short-ish match, but a fun match. And TH2 building more momentum. I really like TH2, and I think they're really good. So, thumbs up to all four men for this one. Our next match was Orange Cassidy versus John Skylar. Now, Orange Cassidy, if you know who he is, you know he's one of the most beloved and popular wrestlers anywhere right now because of his style, the King of Sloth style, shall we say. Um, Against Sean Skylar, and anytime you see him go, it's great. And good to see the best friends all back together. Obviously, it's great to see Trent back from injury. I mean, best friends are, I think, are still one of the most beloved trios anywhere. But now there's four of them. Chris Statlander has joined the group, and I'm all for that. And of course, great to see Chris Statlander coming back from injury. Obviously, she's having a really bad, I think, a knee injury last year. It was out for nearly 11 months. So that's pretty crazy. But she's back, and she wrestled on Dynamite, but we'll cover that in another review. But it's great to see them all back. And Orange Cassidy, you can't help but absolutely love him because of just how lazy his character is. But that's the point. It's so much fun. And it was a good match, to be fair. And a short match. Beat Break got the win for Orange Cassidy. So there you go. Thumbs up to both men. And next came match of the night for me. Daniel Limelight versus, I'm going to try and pronounce this correctly, Konosuke Takeshita from DDT Pro Wrestling. Now, I've never seen Konosuke before. I heard of him, but I've never seen him wrestle before. Regular, as I said, of the DDT Pro promotion, and good to see more Japanese wrestlers get a chance in AEW because obviously of the great connection of Japan and United States, thanks to Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega has wrestled in DDT Pro. That's pretty much where he started when he went to Japan. Obviously, went on to other places. New Japan has wrestled. Wrestlers have come to AEW. You get the general idea. But this was an absolutely superb match. It was a matchup I was looking forward to because Daniel Limelight is a great talent, no doubt. And I didn't know what to expect from Konosuke. I'd never seen him before. But boy, did these two put on an absolutely brilliant match. And to date, perhaps the best match on AEW Dark Elevation since its start. The exchanges between these two was phenomenal. The wrestling was top rate. The movement from both men was top rate. And both men just brought it in every way possible. And this was one of those matches you have to see. It was from start to finish. Not a sprint. Very well sought out, paced wrestling match. Some high impact moves, and it worked. Both men really, really put an amazing match here. I think, honestly, Daniel Limelights' best performance in AEW today, and he's had some good performances. And Konosuke, even though it was his debut, did he shine brightly. This was what wrestling can be when you get two people from two different places. Obviously, Daniel Limelight from the western part of the world, Konosuke from the eastern part of the world, clashing for the first time ever. I don't think these two have ever met in a match. If they have, then I haven't seen it. But no, this was really one you have to see. It was stunning from start to finish. If you get the chance, take your way to see this match. It was superb. Definitely couldn't fault it. So definite thumbs up to both men in this match for producing a match of the night and the best match in AEW Dark Elevation to date for me personally. That's just me though. But this was really, really, really good stuff. So can't help but love that. And next match was a tag match. It was Midas Black and Jay Leon, my apologies, versus Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood of obviously FTR. And it's a coincidence, I've got the review note. I'm actually wearing FTR's t-shirt right now. But anyway, this was FTR's first match since being part of the Pinnacle. And I really enjoyed this match because I've said it before and I was saying it, FTR are one of my favourite tag teams ever. I just think they're so good. And even though it wasn't the longest match, they just showed why they are one of the greatest tag teams of all time for me personally. I think they're so good. And to get the Spark Power Driver for the win and not their usual finisher, which is kind of cool, I think it shows they've gone full heel. Even though they were kind of heel before, this was really good stuff and a good match from all four men. But FTR getting a win, can't help but love that. Short match, and that was it. Thumbs up. The next match was Pac and Rey Fenix. So it was Andre Montoya and Very Morales. Now, I was looking forward to this match because you've got Andre Montoya and Very Morales, two high flyers. Even Andre is more of a luchador, shall we say, because he has the mask. Very Morales doesn't have a mask, but he's definitely got the Lucha Libre style because he's from that part of the world. Against Pac and Rey Fenix, of course, those who know me know that I put over Rey Fenix and Pac so much because I think they're just two of the very best in the world. And this was a cracking match, to be fair. A second match of the night for me personally. Of course, about it. Pac and Ray Phoenix, of course, you just can't help but not rely on them. And Very Morales, I've seen a few times in AEW, and he's very reliable. He's great. And I'd never seen Andre Montoya before, but he did fantastic stuff too. And this was a longer match than I thought it would be, but I'm definitely not complaining because the exchanges between both teams was first rate, great wrestling, and Ray Phoenix wanting and proving he is not human. The guy is just ridiculous, and he's on the way to perhaps become one of the best luchadors in the world right now, and that's saying something because there's some good ones going. But I really, really enjoyed this match. Superb, high flying as you expect from four guys like this. Really good exchanges, and I really loved this one as a tag match. It worked perfectly. It's a kind of high flying match, high impact match, I would say as well, that you love to see, and you can't help just watching this be, yep, that's great stuff. And this was great stuff. A definite thumbs up to all four men for this one. Really, really good stuff. Our next match was Baron Black versus Dante Martin. Now, I was looking forward to this one because Baron Black has been really impressive in AEW as of late. I think he's very good too. He's starting to show a bit more what he can do against Dante Martin, and those who know me I think Top Flight are just unreal. Even though that unfortunately his brother is injured right now, Dante Martin is running the solo route and doing a fantastic job too. And I really liked this match, as short as it was. Both men brought a different kind of intensity to the match because obviously they're both face, and it was hard to see Baron Black lose this match because as much as I do like Dante Martin, I was thinking maybe Baron Black could pick up the win because despite the fact that the short match it was, the rough exchanges, the intensity that Baron Black was showing, I'd never seen before. It was great. So okay, I'm ready to take anything he got on the chin, and he did. And Dante Martin got the win with the 450 splash, and really spectacular 450 splash, almost in slow motion. But I really like both men, and this was a short but great match. Couldn't fault the exchanges between the two of them. So really, really good stuff. So watch it if you can. You'll like it. There you go. The next match was Britt Baker versus Sky Blue, making her AEW debut. Now, of course, Britt Baker is going on a, shall we say, self-appointed crusade of trying to prove that the ratings system in AEW is not needed. It's been entertaining because obviously since her fantastic matchup, likes that match with Thunder Rosa, she's been trying to prove that she doesn't need the rating systems to be the top star, and it's been so entertaining to watch. She's been appearing on anywhere she can to prove it. AEW Dark Elevation, Dynamite. It's been so entertaining, but I'm all for it because this is a different side to perhaps the best heel that AEW have in the women's division. I love the little thing on the board saying, okay, this woman hasn't had as many matches as me yet, somehow she's higher than me. Little things like that. We kind of absolutely love it because Britt Baker is so good as a heel, and honestly one of the best female wrestlers they have too. It was a short match. Sky Blue, for what her AEW debut, proved very reliable. Some good wrestling from her. Not as much because it was kind of a squash match, but Sky Blue did some good stuff in this one, so I can't fault that. So thumbs up to both ladies for producing entertaining stuff. There we go. And the next match was Andrew Palace and Cole Carter versus QT Marshall and Nick Camarato. Now, of course, Camarato, QT, Aaron Solo, and Anthony Ogogo have made their own faction in AEW called The Factory. Of course, no part. All students and trainer at the Nightmare Factory, they have to call themselves The Factory because they feel underutilized and underappreciated. Kind of cool to see them go to heel route because I think Aaron Solo going heel was a bit of a surprise, and Nick Camarato too, because they were both starting to build a lot of momentum, and that's absolutely fine. They're doing a fine job. It's kind of interesting to see them go the heel route, but I'm all for it because it produces something different from all four men, because QT has been a face, all have been a face until now, and to see them get this kind of exposure as a heel is working because I'm interested to see how they go with it. And Camarato and QT won the match. A shortish match. Sorry, I may sneeze. I do apologise, but I'm gonna all time for that time. So, anyway, but short match, fun match for what it was, so thumbs up to all for men. Our next match was Mike Seidel versus MT Nakazawa. Now, of course, MT Nakazawa has kind of gone the executive heel approach, to, apart from the Turkish baby oil, which he used repeatedly, as you know. And it's interesting to see, and he was a bit more serious in his match against Mike Seidel. And I think this was Mike Seidel's first singles match in AEW Dark Elevation. And I was half expecting MT to put out the win. No, Mike actually won the match. And a bit of a longer match than MT's matches are, because obviously the whole headset thing. That kind of went out the window earlier than anticipated. And Mike Seidel winning was the right call, because I do like the Seidel brothers. I mean, Matt Seidel, I've said it before, has been one of my favourite wrestlers for nearly 15 years because of just how good he is. And Mike Seidel, I haven't seen that much of him. What I've seen so far, I've enjoyed the Seidel brothers. I'm all for it as a tag team in AEW. But this was a good match, fun match for what it was, and it told a very unique story about MT kind of being frustrated at losing after the match. So couldn't have fault that. So thumbs up for both men for producing this kind of match. And the next match was Layla Hirsch versus Shannon. And this was Shannon's first match back in AEW for a while. I think because of the pandemic, unfortunately situations like this happen. Against I don't think she's the latest person signed to AEW. I think Sean Dean was signed just before or after. But anyway, Layla Hirsch, the newest edition I would say it's definitely the newest edition on the women's side for AEW. And of course, Layla Hirsch is, I said before, she's the shortest wrestler in the female division. But she might be one of the most vicious because of her wrestling style. And she can go. She's a great wrestler. And her getting a win over Shannon was a bit of a surprise, because Shannon has been building a bit of momentum since she's been in AEW. This is her first match back for a while. But so Layla Hirsch winning, I'm all for, because I really like Layla Hirsch. She's a dynamite wrestler. In terms of, I'm saying a packet of dynamite. I'll say it like that. That's the best way to say it, to describe her. No pun intended, because AEW. But she's like that. I mean, she's explosive, a great wrestler. She has a great amateur background. And she can prove it, and she can go with anyone, and she can. And I was half expecting this match to be longer too. It wasn't the longest match, but Layla Hirsch winning to help build momentum, I think, was the right call. So good to see Shannon back, but I'm all for Layla Hirsch getting more momentum. Thumbs up to both ladies. And next match was Brandon Cutler versus Penta El Cerro Miro. And I was looking forward to this match because Penta is going to kind of a solo route, even though he's still part of Death Triangle, but it's working. Penta is fantastic. I love the Lucha Brothers. They're perhaps my favourite Lucha tag team ever. They're amazing. Against a very game Brandon Cutler. And this was a good match. This was very good stuff. I enjoyed this. And I haven't seen Brandon Cutler wrestle for a while, actually. I haven't thought about it. But as the matches go, this is really good stuff. I enjoyed this. Both men really put some very good wrestling in. And Penta is ridiculous, as you know. He's one of the best there is in AEW. No doubt, no doubt. And Brandon Cutler is one of the most reliable all-rounders you can possibly get. Very good match between the two. I enjoyed it. Penta winning was the right call, I think, to build the momentum that he's been building a little bit of AEW, as well as Death Triangle. And a good match. I enjoyed this one. Really, really worth watching. And I think Brandon Cutler lost nothing by losing this match, to say, because he did some really good stuff too. But cracking stuff. Really, really enjoyed that one. So, thumbs up. And the next match was a match I was personally looking forward to. Thunder Rosa versus Diamante. Now, Thunder Rosa, if you've been watching it the last month or so, she is on a roll in professional wrestling. As obviously, so many people are talking about her match with Britt Baker, one of the absolutely amazing lights out match from not too long ago, against a very, very game Diamante. Now, I really like Diamante. I think she's fantastic and underappreciated. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I think she's great, and she's very good at bringing her own style in terms of kind of like mixing up a little bit. But she brings it in a very unique way, like obviously hard hitting wrestling. She does a lot of good stuff. Against Thunder Rosa, one of the most reliable competitors in the world. She can do everything, and this was a cracking match. This is easily the third best match of the night for me, if not joint second. I really enjoyed this one between these two. And even though Thunder Rosa won the match, Diamante put on, I think, her best performance in AEW to date. and she's put some good performances. But this was her best, I think, against a very game Thunder Rosa, who's carrying the momentum onwards. And this was a good match between two Hispanic female competitors who are really showing what they can do. And they're starting to go more on a roll. Diamante, like I said, lost nothing in this match by losing it. Thunder Rosa, I think winning was the right call to carry on her upward momentum that is building and building and building. But great stuff. I enjoyed this match. And again, proof that the women's division AEW is so strong. It's fantastic. So definitely couldn't fault the exchanges between these two. So definite thumbs up for you two. Which brought us to the main event of Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky versus Joey Janela and Sunny Kiss. Now, of course, the whole underappreciation thing, which I mentioned earlier about Britt Baker, is kind of going on the same pages, no pun intended, for Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. Because obviously, two fantastic players. I love Ethan Page, I really do. All we go Ethan Page is such a great character and such a solid wrestler. And Scorpio Sky, what can you say about Scorpio? One of the most reliable and best wrestlers in AEW. He doesn't have a bad match ever because he's that good. Neither does Ethan Page. In fact, in a very game, Sunny Kiss and Joey Janela. Now, Joey Janela and Sunny Kiss are one of the most unusual tag teams in AEW, but also one of the most entertaining. You can't help but love them. And the exchanges between all four of these men was really good stuff. I enjoyed what they bought and how they bought it. Even though Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky winning was going to be so. You can hear that, I apologise, a dog barking from nowhere. Anyway, I think that's a dog in this building. Usually very, very quiet dog. Anyway, that being said, on we go. This is a fun main event. I enjoyed this one and a good match. And even though Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky winning was going to be, I think, the way it was going to go, it was a good exchanges from all four men. And then picking on Sunny Kiss was the right call because Joey was really starting to bruise people in this match, like hitting hard and showing what he could do. And the exchanges between these two, Joey Janela and Sunny Kiss before the match, the promo was hilarious if you ever get a chance to see that. But this was a good tag team main event, and I enjoyed it. And it's a good win for Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. And that is it for this review because I realised it's been going over 20 minutes, but we've got 16 matches to cover. You kind of have to go a bit of the long haul. But overall, a very good episode of AEW Dark Dynamite Elevation. So keep up the good work, AEW. So thumbs up to everybody involved in the show for sure, and thumbs up to you for watching. I will see everybody next time. But until that time, take care.